What's next for all of us? Humanity at the crossroads? And let me just say it up front because I've been thinking about this one for weeks. Yes, you tuning in right now, whether you're walking the dog in a quiet suburb or stealing a break in a bustling warehouse, you are the answer. Not some distant hero, not a committee of experts locked away in Geneva. You, us, and together, if there's one thing I know from years of talking to folks just like you, it's that we all feel this pull, this urgency, that something just does not feel right. Let's start with the elephant in the room. I know you feel it too. That overwhelming, bone deep sense that something's not right with our world. It's not just a passing mood, it's a constant hum in the background, like a low grade fever you can't shake. You wake up scrolling through your feed, another headline about tensions flaring in the South China Sea or Amazon, or politicians trading barbs that feel more like grenades than debates. And yeah, it hits hard. The ominous signs and signals blasting at us every single day. World War III, it's not some dusty history lesson. It's the shadow lurking in those grainy drone footage clips. Catastrophic environmental calamities, surveillance states that make Orwell blush, economic policies that line pockets while emptying yours. Endless wars funded by our tax dollars while schools crumble back home. It's enough to make you want to pull the covers over your head and whisper, "Oh, just not today." But hang on, because amid this darkness, there's a light of hope that we all sense and feel. It's incredible, isn't it? That flicker, that quiet insistence that says, this isn't the end of the story. We're not powerless. We're not doomed. We're at a crossroads, sure, but the crossroads have choices. We either wake up collectively and unify, linking arms across every divide imaginable, or we face the dire consequences of apathy, that slow, seductive slide into numbness where nothing changes because we let it. Each one of us, no matter what your skin color is, what socioeconomic strata you're grinding through right now, you make a difference. Picture this. You're not just a face in the crowd. You're the pebble that starts the avalanche. Even though the task at hand seems insurmountable, like staring up at Mount Everest without oxygen, there is hope, real, tangible hope. It's not too late to drastically change the course we're on. We're not barreling towards some predestined cliff. We've got the rudder in our hands if we grab it. Your voice, your perspective, they matter. Big time. You came to Earth for a reason. Yes, I said it. You didn't just blink into existence on cosmic whim. You showed up here to learn the ropes, perhaps the hard way, through scraped knees and late night doubts, and then to share that experience so that others can sidestep the same potholes, to bring what you uniquely carry in our collective experience. That one truth you've wrestled out of life, the lesson from that brutal layoff in 22 that taught you resilience, or the quiet joy of watching your neighbor's kid nail their first bike ride despite the odds. Share it. Bring it into action. Don't hoard it like some miser with gold. Wherever you are on the planet, hustling through the rush of Mumbai or sipping tea on a porch in rural Kentucky, know that your voice matters. By doing this, it will connect you with other people who truly are making the world better, one stubborn step at a time. This broadcast, it's my call to arms, a bullhorn to all the people in power, the CEOs mapping empires from corner offices, the policymakers drafting bills in dimly lit chambers. But it's also to you, the ones not in those positions of power, the teachers shaping minds in underfunded classrooms, the nurses holding hands through the midnight shift, the parents whispering bedtime stories that plant seeds of kindness. To the wise elders, with your stories etched like rings in ancient oaks, tales of wars survived, depressions outlasted, and to those hidden people, those quiet warriors who know in the deepest recesses of their being that their voice needs to be heard. It's a call to activate the masses of humanity. We need to connect, and I mean really connect, and listen to what our youth are saying. Those sharp, unfiltered voices firing off on social media, calling out the absurdities we adults have learned to tolerate. Yes, for you to take action and share the wisdom you hold inside yourself, that hard-won gold from decades of perhaps detours. It's a call to not go unheard, a call to speak up and let your voice be heard, echoing across the divides until it builds to a roar. I know. You're sitting there, maybe nodding along, but with that healthy, skeptical tilt to your head. Unity in this mess? Come on. And you're not wrong to push back. We all are entrenched in our bubbles of belief, aren't we? Political loyalties that feel like family crests, religious convictions that anchor us like old shipwrecks. It seems impossible. Division everywhere you look, from family dinners to comment sections that read like battlefield dispatches. Go deeper. Look beyond the division and see our unity. It's there, shimmering just under the surface. If we stay divided, we will perish. No hyperbole. History's littered with the bones of fractured tribes. The Roman Empire didn't fall to the barbarians alone. It rotted from the inside with infighting. But the truth? It's not some one-size-fits-all monolith. There is no single truth. It depends on where you sit. Your perspective shaping the lens like light through stained glass. One person's rock-solid fact is another's shaky assumption. That's the nuance, the beautiful mess of it. Do not buy into their division trap. It's a slick con job designed to keep us poking at each other while the real puppeteers pull the strings. Humanity has far more in common than differences. We all bleed red, laugh at the same dumb jokes, ache for the same simple securities. Remember that. Humanity's true power lies in our unity. Together, we can change this insane course we're presently cruising on, seemingly on autopilot toward the abyss. It's not too late to make radical changes to the global system that seemingly has trapped us in its gears. There is a way out of the matrix of doom and gloom. The endless cycles of fear-mongering and finger-pointing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. No matter how bleak your world seems right now, perhaps bills stacking up, news feeds that depress us, realize that there are others out there that will help. We can share our wisdom and take back from the current world order our God-given right to a peaceful world where we flourish, not just survive, but thrive. It won't be easy, and it will not be without struggle. Expect bruises, the backlash from folks in comfy status quo mode, and your exhaustion of pushing uphill. But I know You are a fighter deep down with the keys to the universe tucked right in your pocket. You have a role to play in the greatest gift ever given, your right to thrive and live a happy life full of those unscripted moments that make it all worthwhile. We cannot do this alone. It'll take courage and faith, that blind leap kind, and coming forward to fight the injustices that are rampant. For example, from wage theft that starves families to policies that poison our air, water, and soil. Question authority, not with pitchforks, but with piercing questions. Perhaps, why this way? What if we tried it that? Bring to the table viable solutions that create a better world. You are the key and you are the answer. Don't give up no matter what, because quitting now, that's what they count on. We need to hear from wise people in business, those trailblazers who aren't just chasing profits, but legacies. In entertainment, the storytellers who weave tales that bridge chasms, reminding us we're all in the same script. In sports, our heroes, the athletes who have turned their podiums into pulpits for change of the status quo. In government, the rare birds who actually listen, the ones drafting bills with community input, not just lobbyist whispers. They know how to fix this planet and patch the leaks before the ship sinks. The youth are hungry for your guidance, for your experience, for your wise hands in these troubled times. They're not waiting for permission. They're demanding blueprints. It's not too late. Humanity is waking up. And the dramatic change can happen very quickly once the swell of our collective might crests and crashes onto the world stage. We will not sit idly and be passive. It's not an option, because passivity will lead to planetary collapse. Even though we are all so busy, everybody's calendar's crammed, and often feels risky professional or personally to let our truth come to the public awareness. Please take the dive into the collective and let your voice be heard. Burn a bridge? Maybe, but build 1,000 more. In democracy, this is a fundamental pillar of its foundation, that you have the right to be heard, that your voice matters, woven into the fabric, whether it's a whisper or a war cry. We can do better. All the division, the hatred, the name calling and mudslinging, where does that lead us? It leads towards oblivion, a foggy nowhere where echoes bounce but nothing lands. It leads toward nothing getting done, wheels spinning in the same old ruts. The current world order has failed us terribly, promising prosperity but delivering uncertainty. So rise up, grab hold of that fire inside, the one that's flickered through every setback you've survived. Let's talk specifics, because vague rallying cries are just hot air. Take the nuclear arm race. That saber rattling with arsenals that could glass the planet over 10 times. This is pure insanity, certifiable. We can't continue this way. No sane person in their right mind would want to blow up 1 million people, watch cities turn to craters and ghosts. Mutual assured destruction. Mad. It's crazy. A fever dream scripted by the coldest calculators. We have to stop it. Full stop. How? By unifying literally millions and billions of people together, raising a global chorus. Stop. This is enough. We can't continue this way. There are people and organizations that exist. Think tanks like the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, or grassroots crews like the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons that know how to implement the off ramps, de escalation protocols, treaties with teeth, citizen diplomacy that pressures the halls of power to offer practical solutions, practical steps on how to avoid a catastrophe. We're so close to the edge, folks, teetering on that doomsday clock at 90 seconds to midnight. And this is really scary. We're probably closer. It's very, very scary. The hair on my neck stands up just saying it. But there's something we have to do. Connect. Be unified. There is a way to cut through all this division, because that's not going to serve anybody's purpose. A divided people cannot stand together. Lincoln nailed that one. There's so much common ground if we just focus on it. A long time ago, after working in many countries around the world, I learned a hard lesson. Believe me, it's imperative to find in everyone something that you like about them, something that is positive. It's just so easy to criticize because that's sort of this lower self thing working, chattering away and just attacking. But if you move in a different direction and start to see that we are all one, that there's something in that person you might like at school or a teacher or in your job that's redeemable, that's of value, that's good. Focus on that. Because once we start to focus on our leaders and how they are, in the best sense, trying to do what they think is right and what they think is going to help, and by supporting them and voicing your opinion in a way that's constructive, will enable us to move forward as an entire species. In times of crisis, as I've mentioned before, we tend to come together. We help one another. We don't care what the color of the skin is or what political background they have. It's because when there's an emergency like today, something that is critical, we just roll up our sleeves. Floods in Pakistan, volunteers from every faith digging in the mud to help save people. Pandemic waves, neighbors just dropping meals at doorsteps, no questions asked. We build structures that nurture and support a system that's going to make the world better. So having said that, it's a call again for action. Please come with your suggestions in the comments on this podcast. Tell me, who is it? What wise politician, if there is any such thing, and I think and know they're out there, working for the betterment of the world? What leader in business is helping us? Truly concerned for the welfare of humanity, not just the bottom line, but really working to build a sustainable society. If we're not looking out for each other, for the benefit of humanity, we're going to go down a very, very dark road. And time is of the essence. We're at this critical juncture in history, and it's imperative that we come together, that we start to unify. I know it's difficult. I know it seems improbable that people of different political parties can be bipartisan and come up with solutions for critical policies that we are presently writhing under. For example, I don't know, this healthcare snarl and this immigration tangle, this education overhaul that feels forever stalled. This can change. It doesn't have to get stuck in bureaucracy. We can cut through that. It can happen really very fast as the Berlin Wall fell. One crack, one chant, and the whole thing tumbled. It's about unity. It's about us coming together for the greater benefit of humankind. It's about finding commonalities where you might only see differences. Believe in yourself no matter where you are. You might be in some really difficult situation right now. I don't know. Bills mounting, some health scares lurking, your relationships are not doing well. We've all gone through the ups and the downs of life's tribulations, but there is a way. The storm passes and the sun emerges. It's the force of our goodwill behind us. We can change the course of humanity. There are so many lies being perpetrated out there, from trickle down in economics that never drips to endless growth, models that devour the earth. This is something we need to cut through. We need to stop listening to the perpetuators of falsehoods. Let's point it out in a way that's constructive and show some proof. It's not hopeless. We have a future ahead of us, and the way toward that bright future is by coming together as one humanity, unified, that we don't let present day leaders steer us down on an irreversible course. Even though governments, big corporations, and organizations, some organizations, seem all powerful, there is nothing mightier than the spirit of human beings coming together to help each other. It's humanity. We can do this. We can do it together. Even if you're in the dark shadows of life, as I've said, we're all facing that. We've all gone through really some difficult times. If you scratch below the surface of superficial conversations, there is so much experience out there, so much knowledge, and so much wisdom. And all it takes is the ability to have access to that, to stop the insanity that is presently an everyday reality that we're facing. It doesn't have to be this way. I can tell you that anyone, and I mean anyone, thinks that dropping nuclear bombs is going to solve problems is literally insane. We start to see how deep it goes. There are so many young people out there who are brilliant. I've worked with them. I've met them. They're far smarter than I. And I know that together we can bridge the generations. The consequences of inaction, of feeling like you're helpless, it's just not going to work. You have to just reach out and speak your truth. It'd be very much appreciated. Goodbye, everyone.